Czechoslovakia, 1943, the city of Prague was under the iron grip of the Nazi regime. Among the shadows, a mysterious and enigmatic figure known as Pérák, the spring man of Prague, began to emerge, striking fear into the hearts of the Nazi occupiers and hope into the souls of the Czech people. Pérák's origins were shrouded in mystery. Some whispered that he was once a humble chimney sweep, while others believed he was a factory worker who had been exposed to a secret chemical experiment gone awry. This exposure had granted him supernatural jumping abilities, which he would use to fight against the Nazi oppressors. Others who had seen him recount seeing him jump with spring-loaded boots. The city was plagued by strange occurrences. German patrols found disarmed and immobilized, vital military equipment sabotaged, and important Nazi officials reported unexplainable injuries. The people of Prague began to exchange hushed stories of a shadowy figure, dressed in a black cape, a tight-fitting mask, and a wide-brimmed hat, who would leap from rooftop to rooftop with seemingly impossible agility. Some claimed to have seen Pérák up close, and their tales were even more chilling. His eyes, they said, burned with an otherworldly fire, and his movements were unnaturally fluid, as if he were part of the shadows themselves. His powerful leaps were said to be aided by a bizarre contraption attached to his legs, which emitted an eerie metallic screech as he vanished into the night. One night in January 1944, a high-ranking Nazi general was hosting a secret meeting with his officers in a heavily guarded mansion in Prague. As they discussed their plans, a sudden gust of wind blew out the candles, and the room was plunged into darkness. Moments later, the general vanished without a trace. The officers searched the mansion, but the general was nowhere to be found. The next morning, his body appeared on the roof of the tallest building in the city. No one knew how he got there, but whispers spread throughout the city that Pérák, the spring man of Prague, was responsible. The incident struck fear into the hearts of the Nazis and boosted the morale of the Czech resistance. The legend of Pérák grew, and as it did, so too did the terror felt by the Nazis. They began to suspect that something supernatural was at play, and their once proud soldiers started to tremble at the mere mention of the Springman's name. Their fear became palpable, as Pérák's spectral presence seemed to haunt the very streets of Prague. Yet for the Czech people, the figure of Pérák became a symbol of hope, a reminder that even in the darkest times, there were those who would fight against the forces of evil. His presence brought comfort to the oppressed as they held on to the belief that one day they too would rise up and free themselves from the shackles of tyranny. In the end, Pérák's true identity was never revealed, and his fate remains unknown. But the stories of his extraordinary deeds continue to echo through the ages, a chilling testament to the power of resistance and the spirit of the Czech people.